agreements to be reached between Dangote and the Nupeng for the sake of the economy and to improve domestic capacities.
Fresh fuel scarcity is set to hit Delta State as members of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, and the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, have announced an indefinite strike beginning today, September 8, 2025. The decision followed an emergency meeting held on Saturday, September 6, 2025, where both unions resolved to shut down all filling stations across the state from 6 a.m. today until further directives are issued by their national leadership. In a circular distributed to marketers, the union warned that any filling station found operating during the strike period would be fined 1 million naira. The development is expected to disrupt fuel supply in Delta State and possibly other parts of the South-South region, as petroleum marketers often act in solidarity during such strikes.
The federal government has directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, to publicly name and shame airlines that disrupt flights without genuine reasons through the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the NCAA, Mr. Michael Achimugu. He warned that situations where airline staff deliberately abandon passengers and leave the NCAA consumer protection officers to deal with angry customers would no longer be tolerated. He stressed that exposing NCAA officials to unnecessary risks while supporting airlines and protecting passengers' rights is unacceptable. He added that for infractions that are sanctionable, the authority will apply the fullest measures possible, as they will not abandon the letters of our regulations. The federal government has also stated that while not all disruptions are the fault of airlines, operators must comply with the regulations wherever there is a disruption.
The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAM Special Committee on Examination Infractions has presented its report to the examination body, exposing how technology-driven malpractice is undermining Nigeria's admission process. Presenting the report in Abuja to the Registrar of the Board, Professor Ishaq Oluyole, Chairman of the committee, Jake Epele, said the team uncovered 4,251 cases of finger blending and 192 instances of AI-assisted impersonation through image morphing during its investigations into the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. Beyond finger blending and artificial intelligence impersonation, the committee stated that it documented 1,878 false disability claims, forged credentials, multiple national identification number name registrations, and collusion between candidates and examination syndicates. The panel, inaugurated on August 18, was charged with the responsibility of proving rising infractions, reviewing JAM's systems, and recommending reforms. Epele lamented that malpractice has become highly organized, technology-driven, and dangerously normalized. The committee called on JAM to adopt a multi-pronged response that includes deploying AI-powered biometric anonymous tools, real-time monitoring, and a central examination security operations center.
Some teachers and parents have criticized the federal government over the sudden introduction of the new national curriculum, saying they were not consulted in the process and warning that schools are ill-prepared for immediate implementation. The stakeholders spoke yesterday evening during a virtual meeting titled Understanding the New Curriculum, organized by the Concerned Parents and Educators Network, where they expressed fears that the rushed rollout would compromise learning quality. Child protection and education advocate Taiwo Akinlami described the process as exclusionary, saying critical voices were sidelined. Akinlami stressed that in Lagos alone, There are over 18,000 private schools and 1,700 public schools, yet most operators only became aware of the review when it was announced. Government schools already struggling with resources will not cope, while private schools will face rising costs without being allowed to adjust fees, he said. Parents also questioned how the reform would address the plight of more than 20 million out-of-school children. This discussion shows that teachers, parents and associations have a voice. We must get more involved and hold government accountable.
The Lagos State government has presented retirement bond certificates worth 1.52 billion naira to 798 public service retirees, underscoring its dedication to supporting workers post-retirement. The Director General of the Lagos State Pension Commission, Babalola Obilano, described the event as a testament to the government's unwavering commitment to fulfilling its pension obligations. The DG explained that the Commission has consistently ensured prompt payments, of which the 110th batch now joins the long list of retirees who received their entitlements without delay, thereby reinforcing trusts in the CPS. Beyond administration, he stated that the Commission is also focusing on financial literacy for retirees to help them make informed decisions about their post-service investments. He congratulated the beneficiaries of the 110th batch, urging them to see their retirement as a new chapter of opportunities, reassuring them that Lagos State will continue to innovate and adapt its pension framework to meet both present and future needs.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of have neutralized a notorious bandit commander, Kachala Bala, and 5 others in Kogi State, as stated in a statement by the spokesman of the brigade, Lieutenant Hassan Abdullahi, in Lokoja, the state capital. He said the ongoing Operation Egua AR-Tite-2, which took place from the beginning of this month in Kogi State, has yielded several successes, including neutralizing bandits and rescuing kidnapped victims across affected communities. The spokesman also disclosed that the troops recovered items, including 5 Dane guns, 1 motorcycle, 2 mobile phones, and 1 AK-47 magazine containing 20 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition. The brigade commander and force commander Operation Accord 3, Abdullahi, neutralized Bala and 5 associates during a fierce gun battle at a hideout ahead of Tunga. He reiterated the troops' commitment to rid Kogi and the surrounding areas of banditry, criminality, and other threats with full backing from the commander to ensure peace and security in the region.
By addressing the underlying drivers of insecurity, such as religious extremism, ethnic tensions and porous borders and political divisions, the government can work towards creating a more stable and secure environment. These were the words of a security scholar, Oluyole Fatoki, and a former chairman Nigerian Legion, Oyo State, Alhaji Lasisi Adetunji, while discussing the topic Fight Against Insecurity, an X-ray on BCA's Current Affairs Breakfast program, AM 120. Our reporter, Fedora Afalabwe, gives the details.
Nigeria's security landscape faces significant challenges from terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and cybercrime. Addressing these issues requires a comprehensive approach that involves security measures, community engagement, and socio-economic development to promote stability and safety. Discussing fight against insecurity on BCOS AM 120, a security scholar, Oluyole Fatoki, expressed concern that the persistence of insecurity in Nigeria is not only tiresome but also regrettable, given that it is an issue the nation ought to have transcended by now. He reiterated that the judicial system needs a comprehensive overhaul to effectively combat insecurity, as delays in the system currently hinder its ability to tackle insurgency.
It's tiring, it's sad that every time, there is no day in a week that analysts want to discuss issues pertaining to insecurity. When are we going to start deliberating on issues pertaining to peace, harmonization, Though, yeah, the press, you are doing a good job, to bring the accountability and responsibility of the government to the masses. But in a country where the recurring issue is mostly insecurity, then a lot is needed to be done. And that shows how I don't want to use the word irresponsible, but that shows how insincere we are to the citizens,
Also featuring on the program, former chairman of the Nigeria Legion, Oyo State, Alhaji Lasisi Adetunji, noted that the security situation in Nigeria is frustrating because it has not been given the priority it deserves. He stressed that more funding is needed to tackle insecurity with deployment of modern technologies and intensified monitoring of equipment and human personnel.
Security is peculiar to the whole country, and that's why we are saying disseminate it down, dismantle it down to state level. From state level, let it go to local government level. That's what we are saying. When you are saying something is happening in Borno State, you are calling me at Ibadan. You see how ridiculous it is? That is why we are saying, let them legalize state police.
They urged everyone to get involved in national security, stressing it is a collective responsibility with government playing a major role and citizens playing theirs by being their brother's keeper. Fidora Afolagboye, BCOS News.
Residents around the ongoing Rasidi-Ladoja Circular Road project have expressed appreciation to the Oluyole State government for bringing such development to their area. Our reporter Olamide Owolabi visited some of the construction sites of the project, which cuts across Egbeda, Oluyole and Onora local government areas of Oluyole State. Here is a report.
One of the landmark projects of Engineer Seyi Makinde-led administration is the construction of the Rasidi-Ladoja Circular Road, a project designed to transform Oyo State and position it as the hub of commerce. The 32-kilometer first portion of the road links Oluyole, Egbeda and Onara local governments, connecting key communities and providing easier routes for commuters and businesses. It is also expected to ease traffic in Ibadan and boost industrial growth in the state. Flagged off on March 2022-2024, the project has since recorded steady progress, with visible changes already taking place across different sections of the route. A visit to the site showed ongoing construction at Olubode in Onara. Workers were building a major bridge. In Oloko Araba, Oluyole, heavy-duty machines were at work on the road foundation. Around Abiola Ajimobi Technical University, electrification has been completed, while in Badeku at Egbeda, similar works are ongoing to light up the road and provide amenities for nearby communities. For many residents, the project represents more than just a road. It's seen as a promise of growth and development, with traders, transporters and small business owners already looking forward to better access to markets and easier movements across the city.
What we are seeing here, like our environment is developed every day. This kind of thing like this, as everybody is looking at our junction and our area, everybody will be happy, and we have more and more people in our area too. Yes, we thank everything.
Inú wa dùn torí ó máa mú ọ̀làjú bá ìta wa níbí yìí. Àwa tá dẹ̀ jó onímọ̀rú wa tá ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbí náà. Ìyẹn tún máa mú kí iṣẹ́ wa kó gbèrú torí fún pé kíni ibi máa kọjá bó ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀.
Gbogbo tó ń ṣe ní environment wa yìí, ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó máa ń jẹ́ kí àwùjọ gbòòrò, ó máa ń jẹ́ kí ìlú ó dàgbà sókè.
Mo tẹ̀sí kọ́kọ́ rí gan ó dùn mọ́ mi nínú tó pọ̀ torí pé ó tún mú ọ̀nà àdúgbò mi ó tún mú develop dáadáa gan ni
Speaking with Business News, a senior electrical engineer from the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Abraham Oyerogba, explained that the electrification work is scheduled to be completed in 3 months.
This project has kick-started about a few months ago, and it's all about electrification of this highway, and it spans through about 35 kilometers on this Rashid Ladoja Circular Road. So it links all the other residential or the in-between the road that pass through the main city. The road has already been at this status, and that is why we can see the erection of the poles. These poles, they are meant to carry fittings that we carry the light to illuminate this particular road.
With work advancing in different phases, the Rashidi Ladoja Circular Road is gradually becoming a reality, one that is set to redefine Ibadan's landscape and strengthen the economic future of Oyo State. Olamide Owolabi, Business News.
On the foreign scene, 6 people have been killed in a shooting attack in the occupied East Jerusalem, Israeli authorities have said. This is as the Israeli military's pushing assault on besieged Gaza rages. Foreign Desk Editor Falashade Akintola has details of this and other stories as presented by Bimbo Atmubi.
Paramedics said at least 12 other people were injured in the Monday morning attack, with 6 in serious condition with gunshot wounds following the shooting at Ramoth Junction. Israel's paramedic service, Magen David Adom, said several others were likely injured by glass and treated at the scene. Magen David Adom said again. Israeli police described the shooting as a suspected terror attack. Police said 2 attackers were neutralized soon after the shooting began. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to catch everyone who helped attackers after a shooting in Jerusalem killed at least 6 people. Authorities are pursuing and surrounding the villages where the suspected attackers came from, the Prime Minister added. The police said that perpetrators arrived in a vehicle and opened fire at a bus station. At least 6 people were killed in clashes with security forces after thousands of young people in Nepal took to the streets on Monday to protest against corruption and a government ban on social media websites. Thousands heeded a call by demonstrators describing themselves as Generation Z, also known as Gen Z, to gather near the Parliament building in Kathmandu over the decision to ban platforms including Facebook, X and YouTube. Nepal's Minister for Communication, Prithvi Suba, told the press that police had to use force, which included water cannons, batons, and firing rubber bullets. The government has said social media platforms needs to be regulated to tackle fake news, hate speech, and online fraud. Some of the demonstrators said that they were protesting against what they called the authoritarian attitude of government. A Kathmandu district office spokesperson said a curfew was imposed around areas including the Parliament building after protesters attempted to enter. Nepal Army spokesman Rajaram Basnet told the press that a small unit of soldiers had been deployed in the streets following the introduction of the curfew. And New Zealand police have found the 2 missing children of fugitive Tom Phillips, who was killed in western Waikato early on Monday. Tom Phillips, who disappeared with his children in late 2021, had evaded capture despite a nationwide search and multiple sightings over the years. Phillips was killed in a shootout around 02:30, that is about 14:30 Greenwich Mean Time, on Monday, in which a police officer was seriously injured, authorities said. Officers were responding to a reported robbery at a commercial property in Piu Piu, a small town in northern New Zealand, when Phillips and one of his children were spotted riding a quad bike. One of the children was with Phillips and was unarmed. That child assisted police in locating their siblings as officers conducted a massive hunt. Their mother says she is saddened by the events but also deeply relieved her children's ordeal has come to an end. The case had gripped the country and remains one of New Zealand's most enduring mysteries. Bimbo Akombi, BCUS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the top stories. The Association of Resident Doctors, Federal Capital Territory, ARDFCT, has commenced a 7-day warning strike.
The federal government has directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, to publicly name and shame airlines that disrupt flights without genuine reasons through the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at NCAA, Mr. Michael Achimugu.
Residents around the ongoing Rasidi-Ladoja Circular Road project have expressed appreciation to the Oluyole State government for bringing such development to their area.
And we also brought you a report that 6 people have been killed in a shooting attack in the occupied East Jerusalem, Israeli authorities have said.
That's all from the Newscope desk for now. It was packaged by Tosin Kasim and delivered by Idowu Shekoni.
And I am Oluyole. A lot of us, and thanks for listening. And don't forget to stay tuned as the Yoruba version comes up at 8 o'clock later this evening. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
ètò ìlera nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń gbèrú sí i pẹ̀lú akitiyan ètò ìjọba ọlọ́lá jùlọ gómìnà Olúṣèyí Abíọ́dún Mákindé láti pàṣẹ iléeṣẹ́ elétò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ní kó àwọn èwe fi ń dọ̀rọ̀ tàn síbẹ̀ ìgbìyànjú iléeṣẹ́ elétò ìlera ń tẹ̀síwájú la fi ń rán àwọn ìyálọ́mọ létí wípé bọ́mọ bá ti pé oṣù 6 lẹ́yìn oúnjẹ omi ọyàn pọ̀nbélé àwọn oúnjẹ aṣaralóore alápòpọ̀ mashed foods la máa fún wọn jẹ pẹ̀lú àfikún omi ọyàn àwọn oúnjẹ bíi ẹyin ẹja èso ewébẹ̀ ẹ̀wà ẹ̀pà sóyà ìrẹsì àgbàdo iṣu àtàwọn míì àwọn oúnjẹ wọ̀nyí ló kún fún okun agbára ìjípépé ìdàgbàsókè àlàáfíà àti ìlera tó péye bákan náà ní ká gbájúmọ́ ìmọ́tótó ara àti àyíká bá a ṣe ń fọmọ oṣù 6 láwọn oúnjẹ yìí látùmá fún mi ọyànlá kí wọ́n lè jẹ́ àgbéyè àti àwòyè bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ètò ọrọ̀ ajé lágbára lásìkò yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká pèsè ọjọ́ iwájú rere fáwọn ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa ìṣòmó jìnnà fún àjẹwò ìkéde ló wá látọ̀dọ̀ ikọ̀ àárín àti ilé ẹsẹ̀ elétò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.